other places. And I feel like the reason why it is more intense is because it depends on the secondary school that you finish from in your country. It depends on the standard of education that you had in your secondary school. So that would determine how well you will cope over here in Canada. And I feel like it's the same across board for every other country too as well. So once you see all the requirements and you feel like you meet all those requirements, you have sometimes they will tell you that you must have a pass in particular course, these subjects that you have passes in and everything. And once you have that and you feel like that you are good in, then the next thing for you to do is apply. You will see buttons on the website saying that you can apply. Then that means that when they say that you can apply, it doesn't mean that you can put in all your information directly now. It means that you can open an account with the school. You can create an account, a page with the school where you fill in all your information. And when you do that, it's not compulsory that you have all the requirements, because at that point in time, once you create the account, you will now see the list of all the requirements that is needed, all the documents that you need to upload, all the things that you need to fill out. Sometimes they ask you for referees, and who are referees? Who are the people that we call referees? Referees are people that can really put in a good word for you when it comes to getting something from anywhere. Sometimes when you want to get the job, they ask you for referees, people that know you, people that have had contact with you, that can say things about you, that says maybe academically you have referees. They will ask you for like 2 referees from your school, your previous school. You probably have your teacher have to write something about you. But I don't think that they always ask that for undergrad most of the time. So you really don't even need to concern yourself about that. So just create an account, which is one thing I always tell people. Create an account first, fill in all the information that you have. Then from there you can go ahead and start looking for other things that you feel like is on the form that they created that you do not have. So from there you look for all the things that you don't have, and you put together all the things that is required. And once you feel like you have all those things and your information is complete, then you go through again and see that everything is fine. You fill in all the correct information. Then you click on apply, because well, before you can click on fully apply or submit your application, you need to pay what we call application fee. Most schools expect you to pay application fee because that is like your commitment to saying that I'm not just filling this form for the fun of it. Before, we used to have schools that you can apply to, but they don't even ask you for application fee. They just take your application and you look through it and say, we can consider this guy for school here, and that is all. But now you need to pay application fee, and application fees ranges from $100 to say 125 to like 200 thereabouts. So you see schools that will take as low as $75 for application fee, and you see schools that will take $100 or 125 or 150 for application fee. Once you pay that and you submit, then the school can look through your application, because that is the time that the school believe that you have already committed to come and study in their school. So they look through your application, and if they find you worthy enough, or they feel like you are good enough to join them, they offer you the admission. So I think I'll take a pause here first and see if Abigail has something to ask me before I move forward.
Oh, okay, yeah. You just spoke about the undergraduates, and there were questions coming in from what you were saying. Someone asked if it's necessary to get TOEFL, that is test of English as a foreign language, that is TOEFL or IELTS, or just your transcript. Is it necessary? Are there schools that you can go to in Canada without those exams, or you must write them? Because I believe there are some people who probably don't have the money.
Okay, so TOEFL and IELTS is not compulsory, especially when you come from an English-speaking country. So there are courses that IELTS is really, really compulsory for, like nursing. I helped someone to apply for nursing, and I feel like the courses like medical-related courses, they feel like you must be able to like speak like good English and all that. So some courses that are medically inclined, like and I don't even think that you can directly apply for medicine to study medicine here. You have to do like pre-med courses before you can even go into medicine and all that medical school here. So IELTS is not compulsory for English speaking country. And again, they will always tell you, you see in part of when I said that you should look through the requirements of the schools before you apply, part of the things they will say is that if your undergrad or if your high school was taught in English, then you are exempted from IELTS, from writing TOEFL or IELTS. And if you see the space that they say that you should upload a file for your results or for your IELTS, then you have to, all you have to do is probably just write a note and say my high school was completed using English language and I'm from an English language speaking country. But if you're not from an English speaking country, then you really need to write IELTS or TOEFL exam. So I think that answers the question.
Okay, so that is like an answer to people asking about IELTS or TOEFL. You don't necessarily need it if you finish from a high school in Nigeria. For some schools and for some courses, okay? Now, I have a funny question. You mentioned something about being a minor. A lot of people here won't know who a minor is. Definitely. Please explain. Who is a minor?
Oh, okay. So a minor is a person that is still under the care and responsibility of his or her parents. So you probably between the ages of you're in your teenage age. Maybe you're not yet 18, or because 18 is like the legal age in Canada or in most of the countries. So you're probably between 15 and 16, 17. You are considered being a minor. But I know that this is the new generation. I think this is Gen Z or Gen X, or what are you guys? So you guys are the new gen, and I feel like you guys are like all up in the place. You already feel like you're grown up once you're 15 years old. You're all up in the place. You're on Instagram, you're on Twitter, you're making things happen, but then you're still a minor because you're still under the care of your parents. So that is who or what a minor is. Somebody that is still under the care of his or her parents. So you're considered a minor abroad.
Okay. Thank you. Then someone else asks, he says, most of the time, universities available don't offer full scholarships. How do you navigate through this when you have set your mind on that particular university? Like, how do you navigate? How do you get a scholarship? I think probably that's what you want to ask. When you really want to go to the university, but you want a scholarship, how do you do that?
Okay, so I feel like everybody is always after scholarship first. And I have a saying, and the saying is, if you don't play Lotto, you cannot win. Not that I am advertising you to play Lotto or to start playing bet or something, but the saying is, if you don't play, you cannot win. And playing is applying first. You need to apply to the school first. And I feel like most of the school, they don't even offer scholarship before you applying to their school. Sometimes they will tell you that if you apply for a scholarship, then you can then apply for a particular course in the school. But sometimes, in most cases, you have to apply to study at the school first before you can apply for scholarship. So, and there are different type of scholarships that are available, which I mentioned in my video. I've done a video about how to study for free in Canada. You can always check that out on my YouTube page too as well. And the first set of scholarship that I spoke about is the entrance scholarship. There's what is called entrance scholarship. And entrance scholarship only comes if you get admitted to that school. Entrance scholarship say that you have entrance into this school to come and study, meaning that they're giving you admission first, then you can have access to that scholarship. Believe me, once you apply to study in a school, even the school registrar's office will write to you and say that there are these available scholarships that you can apply for. But they won't tell you that if you did not apply to the school. And it's because they've gotten your application. They would write to you immediately and say that we have received your application for so course and everything. And while this is being looked at, you should apply for this scholarship, there are these scholarships are available. They will list all the scholarships that are available. And believe me, in the course of your research too as well, if you're patient enough to look through the pages of the university, once you look through a particular course page, you will see scholarships there. You will see links to scholarship, and they will tell you different scholarships that are available. And in most cases, you will see uh, the list of scholarships that are available. Do you understand? You see the list of scholarships. Sometimes, like I said to you, it's not in most cases that you need to apply for admission before you can get scholarship. Sometimes you see the scholarships that are available that you can apply for first before you can even apply for admission. So scholarship sometimes comes with the admission, and admission comes with scholarship. I don't know if you get me like that anyway.
Yes, I think you're trying to say first apply, then look for scholarship. In most cases.
Yes, in most cases. And sometimes you need to look for scholarship, then apply for scholarship, then they would put you in for the particular course that you want to apply to again. But in the course of your research, once you are looking through the pages of the course that you want to study, you will see the links to scholarship, and you can always go through the scholarship page and see the scholarships that require you to apply to study first before you can apply for it, or the scholarship that you can just apply for directly without even just applying for admission in that school.
Okay. Okay, then there's another question, and someone asks if there are schools in Canada which accept SATs as their preferred document for entry. Guys, if you've written an SAT exam, because I know some schools in Nigeria that just write it for their final year students. So if you have a certificate, can you apply for schools in Canada and be assured of getting admitted in some schools there?
And I feel like SAT is not compulsory for all courses or so. Sometimes, so I have somebody that wrote SAT, and I feel like it is not used for admission or so. It's not really compulsory. I feel like there's some courses that require you to write SAT, which is part of the things. And I'm trying as much as possible not to give any misinformation right now, which is why I always advise people to do their own research too as well. Because now I can't say that I know everything about every course. So that is why I say the first thing that you need to do is go to the school page and see the requirements, and you will see under the requirements, you see if you need GRE, if you need SAT. Do you understand? And in most cases, SAT is used for scholarship for you to get scholarship into some of the schools. Sometimes most scholarships require you that you need to write SAT.
Okay.
So that is why I said to you that always look through the pages first, because I don't have all the information right now, and I don't want to misinform you. And I'll say to you that what you do is, if you will take your time, because you're the one that wants to study, right? You should take a little bit of your time and look through the pages and see what are the requirements for this thing. And like I said to you, the same way you look through a particular course and say, nothing, what are the requirements? You see the requirements. So have this, have that, have that. The same thing, you look through the scholarship pages too, and you see whether or not you need SATs to apply for this scholarship, you need GRE to apply for this course or for this scholarship, or you need IELTS or TOEFL to apply for this scholarship. That is how it works anyway.
Okay, thank you. Please, if you still have questions from what he's already said, you can still ask. They will all be addressed. We have about 19 more minutes, so put in your question quickly. Now, the next question, someone asked, if you get a scholarship to study in Canada, something like a full scholarship, how much capital would you advise for one to take into consideration? Yeah, that is a very good question. Even if it's not a scholarship, like if you want to sponsor yourself, how much capital should I have in my account to be able to study in Canada?
Okay, so I'll start from master's case first, because I really do not know much about the undergrad part, and I'll tell you based on my experience with the master. So once you get admission to study in Canada and you are traveling, they ask you to have a full year, like a first year tuition fee. So if your tuition fee for 1 year first, you must have it. Then you must have 10,000 Canadian dollars for you to take care of yourself, maybe for you to be
Did
able
you
to
see
get
how much I listened?
accommodation, for you to sort out your
In dollars, that
accommodation
thing is
and your
like
feeding
300
and
or something
everything
dollars. So
for the first year. And I feel like the reason why they say that is because they don't want you to be stranded in your first year of being here.
small now.
And sometimes some people are really lucky enough that once they get here, before even the first year finishes, they have student job that they're able to get and do and be able to
0.059 now.
help themselves
The
and
9 too is
everything. But I'll
important now.
say to you that the first thing that you need to have is you have
Because if you
your
put
tuition
0.05
fee.
is
But if you have scholarship that
$250.
says that you are fully
Also,
funded, then you really do not need to have your tuition fee. But they'll say that you should have your
no. That 5 is close to
maybe
6
the
now.
$10,000 to take care of
That
yourself.
9
And I
rather
feel
is
like
close to
sometimes,
6. So
in most cases, when you have a
shouldn't be
fully
ignored
funded
now. So
scholarship, they really take care of your accommodation. So you probably have like a room in the dorm or in the hostel in the school too as well. So that is how it works here.
Okay, thank you. And someone asked a question.
now it's looking
Okay, there's
better,
some questions
but
that I'm going to skip. If any question have been addressed, I will skip it because of time. Someone asked, I am an intending medical student in the Russian Federation. Upon my graduation, I intend going for a residency in Canada. Do I need to go to Nigeria to get certified before I go, or I can just migrate straight from Canada to Russia? Sorry, from Russia.
Okay, so I really and I'm trying as much as possible not to give misinformation. So I have a friend here who is married to a doctor that finished from Russia too, I think. Yeah, she finished from Russia, but then she went to Nigeria to practice. I don't know if that is compulsory or not, or maybe it was because she was done with school in Russia and she had to go back home by force by fire or something. Or it's just she just wanted to go back to Nigeria. She went back to Nigeria, she practiced for a while and she got married. My friend was here and she moved here to Canada. Now that she's in Canada, she's practically writing some exam for her to be able to practice again. So even if you come to Canada, you still need to write some medical exam for you to be able to practice in Canada too as well. So you can really apply directly from Russia. Just find out what are those things that you need to do for you to move directly from Russia to Canada, being a medical student or a medical student graduate or something. So that's all I'll say about it.
Yeah, I think the question has been answered. You don't have to go get certified in Nigeria because it won't count, probably. You have to write the Canadian exam to be able to practice in Canada. So you can migrate straight from Russia to Canada. And another question here, are there schools with relatively low tuition in Canada? Like, are there schools with very low tuition, very affordable tuition in Canada you can provide?
Yes, that is what I would say. And part of the things that I said to you when I started this conversation was that you should make your research. And once you make your research, you will compare tuition with tuition. You will see the ones that are expensive and the ones that are not expensive. I also have a video about studying in one of the cheapest school in Canada on my YouTube page. You can also check that out. And one of the cheapest school in Canada is called Memorial University. It's in Newfoundland and Labrador. Believe me, they have the cheapest tuition I've ever seen in my life. You can check that university out and see what your options are, or just watch my video. I spoke to a friend that studied at that particular school too. I was also able to go through to the university page and saw for myself the tuition and how low in comparison to the university that I finished from the tuitions are. So check out the video on YouTube. You can always I'm not sure if Kilani can drop my YouTube channel link in this chat too as well for other people to go through. So,
you're saying
Ezekiel, if you're here, don't forget to drop the YouTube link.
Yeah, that you should drop his YouTube channel.
And some people are asking
just say it now. Say you drop it.
You to tell them
then
about schools that offer scholarship opportunities. But that would be towards the end of the video. Someone said, I have a few questions about master degree. Please ask all your questions before the time goes up so that they can be addressed as soon as possible. Then I have another question. Can a final year student in Russia start applying for scholarship before he or she graduates, bearing in mind that he has not graduated? Or can you use transcript to apply in this case? That is, if not you are in year 4 or sixth year as a medical student, can you apply? Yeah, it's also a question I need to get an answer to. Can you apply, or you have to wait until graduation before you start the application process, or apply while you're still in school, or probably even doing your IT? You can do your IT in Canada. Is it possible?
For the application sake, I always say to you, like I said earlier, transcript is the most important thing when it comes to getting admission. The transcript that shows that you've taken this so courses in your undergrad or in everything. And another thing is, once you check through the application page, the forms that you are expected to fill, most cases, after the transcripts, you see a space for you to drop your certificates too.
Okay.
So meaning that if you have not finished school, you cannot get your certificate.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So some schools will ask you for your certificate, and some will not ask you for your certificate. Some schools just ask you for transcript alone. Some schools they ask you transcript and then certificate. So meaning that you might probably not be able to apply if you're not done with school. But like I said, don't take my word for everything. Look up those schools yourself. And I said create the accounts. You don't even need to pay anything for you to create an application account or an application form on any school that you want to go to. Just look to the school, look through the courses and just say apply. Then you fill out the forms and you see what are the things that are still missing from whatever you have already.
Okay, so guys, in summary, whatever, just apply. Just apply.
Yeah.
Don't have.
Like I said, if you don't play, you can't win. You know.
Exactly.
If you don't play,
just
you can't win.
Put in your information. You don't have to even pay for anything to apply.
You don't have to pay to even click create account. Create accounts. You don't have to pay nothing. Just create accounts and just see what are those things that you're still missing.
Okay. And then someone asked, please, what are the guidelines for application for scholarship in Canada without IELTS or TOEFL?
I feel like I've already spoken about that. The guidelines is to look up the scholarship, look up the course, and see what they put there as your requirements. It's just basic requirements. It's the same thing that happens in Nigeria too. You see a lot of people who advertising scholarships and everything, but you see requirements under it. You just don't apply for scholarship without meeting the requirements that they look for. And I feel like SAT is one of those requirements for scholarship. Most of the scholarships abroad. So you have SAT because it's like a standardly recognized exam too as well. So once you do well there, they'll probably be able to apply for most of the scholarships that are available.
Okay, thank you. Someone said, do schools in Canada require you to pay? Yeah, if you're joining now, it's been addressed. You have to pay application fee for some schools and not all schools. So just do your research.
Okay. You're not even writing down.
It's been already addressed. And
you go watch later and write down something.
Some schools ask for your residency abroad when we are not even there. What should be filled there?
Yeah, what I'm saying is the summary now, all those important points.
Your residence address is your international residence. You don't ask for your resident abroad when you are. So maybe when they say abroad, it means that you're international wherever you are. Just put your address there. I don't think any school will ask you for your residence, where you are residing in their country when you've not even been there before. So just put your own address there, your own international address.
Okay, so your residence address is your address wherever you are living.
Hello?
So if you have any question, please type it in 9 minutes so that it will be addressed as soon as possible. So please, a lot of people ask for you to give them examples of schools and scholarship opportunities in Canada. I think if you know about scholarship,
okay, no. 2 fingers is to take you out of the whole thing. My God.
every course. Like alumni of people that finish from this from that course or from that particular program, they always have like organized scholarships. So then over doing my research of scholarship and everything, I know that on the CIC page, on the Canadian immigration page also, there are a list of scholarships that you can apply for there too as well. So those are the places that you can also look up for scholarship. I feel like people haven't really explored that page enough. If you go to cic.gc.ca, look for scholarship, just type scholarship there, and you see different scholarships that are available for you to apply to over there too as well.
Okay, thank you. So guys, for those of you asking for scholarship to both your masters and your undergraduates, check cic.gc.ca on Google, and then look for scholarship opportunities there. Apart from universities, what about visa or passport to travel to? I don't understand the question. Callisto's question. Please, can you repeat your question?
Okay, I think I understand what the person is saying. So the person is moving from what if you get your your admission and everything. And again, I need to say one thing to everybody that is on this call. One of the misconceptions that we have, or one of the things that we've not been able to address is this: everyone is about getting scholarship and applying to study abroad, but you don't even have an international passport. So I also have, and I was going to say this. See, several things that I've done. Like I feel like when I say that, I feel like my videos do not get tractions. I don't know why, but they get enough traction from people that are watching anyway, and I feel like people appreciate the videos that I put in on YouTube. And the first time that I started, the first video that I did ever on my YouTube channel was titled PVC. PVC is permanent voters card in Nigeria, isn't it? For you to vote and so. But my PVC stands for P stands for passport, V stands for visa, and C stands for Canada. Meaning that you must have your passport first before you can even think of getting visa.
To stop this stream.
Before you can move to Canada. Okay. So it's PVC. Most of us, I don't even know if anybody on this place have international passports. International passport is like your ticket to see the world. Your ticket to see the world. So if you don't have a ticket, you can't even fly anywhere. So your international passport is the first thing.